6 days off to me sounds like death. I think intentional time matters. I don't feel like to go towards something I need to break from what I'm currently doing.
It'll
Nina,
be fun.
what do you think about that? You and me go to a cabin in the woods for 6 days to read a book and practice the exercises in the book.
I don't read.
So I had a question for you. I'm actually in Utah right now. We're heading up to a cabin for like a 6-day detox where I'm going to be diving all into Joe Dispenza's work to like reprogram everything and recharge. And I wanted to see what does that look like for you? How I think Bill Gates goes out like once a quarter or once every year to do this. Do you do the same thing to recharge and kind of program yourself a little bit more to the next level?
Nina, do I do anything to recharge? What do I do to recharge?
You play games.
I play games? I don't often feel like I need a break.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be more if I'm sick. So yesterday I had these crazy allergies that I got from New York. And then yesterday I stayed inside all day because I had allergies. And so I have seasonal allergies. So even this morning going outside in the trees and everything was a little rough. But as long as I think I take more micro breaks.
Oh, really?
I never get to the point where I need like 6 days off. To me sounds like death.
It's a lot. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm totally with you. I normally do like a lot of stuff, but I'm like, okay, I want to separate from everything to see where the next level is, right? So I feel like sometimes it's not like a burnout. Like I'm not feeling burnt out by any means, but I'm like, okay, for me to get to the next level, I need to unplug, reevaluate what I think I know, and figure out who the next version of myself is kind of where I'm doing with this. And it's an interesting experiment.
I mean, I love it, and I haven't been to Joe's events, but I'm a fan of his work. We featured him on the channel a couple times. I would go, but I wouldn't see it as a break from what I'm currently doing. I'd see it as I'm going to go learn something and hopefully learn something new to then bring it back to what I'm currently doing.
Yeah.
The most I did with that was, well, like Tony Robbins, for example. Going to Tony Robbins, that was 4 days all in. And you can't do. I wasn't even filming. Like if you're filming content, you're missing the material.
Yeah.
At least for me. So I didn't post anything. My Thought Leadership Academy is this week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm not going to post anything because I'm going to be there with the students. But I'm doing it as I'm going towards something. I don't feel like to go towards something I need to break from what I'm currently doing.
And I love that. I think a lot of entrepreneurs don't take that approach. They're like, I need to get, or even people in general, they're like, I need to go on vacation to get away from all of this crap. And I think that if that's your philosophy, you might need to evaluate what you're doing for a living, because if you're needing to escape from your life, then you don't have a very positive life. But I'm super jacked about this because I don't want to escape. I just want to find the next level. I just want to be fully into this to figure out what is the unlock for the next level of what I want to create. So I'm super jacked about it.
Yeah, and making sure you're doing it in a healthy way. I mean, we just came back from 4 days in New York, live streaming up to 12 hours a day for 4 days. And my camera guy, who was also in charge of the community, Ray, got sick. He came back home, and then he's like, he posts to his Instagram that he had a fever. He came back, and it was just... He's excited. He's like, I've never been pushed this far. This is amazing. I'm going to school and it's too easy. And this is now like crazy next level for where I want to go, which is awesome. I love the mindset, and when we go 90 days together, if he's already getting the fever after 4, he's going to be dead by the time we do 90. So it's like, okay, Ray, we gotta do this. You love it. I love it. It's amazing. We need to do this in a healthy way so that, we'll push you, but you've got to be able to not get sick and be able to handle it. I don't feel like I'm on social too much. That doesn't burn me out.
Yeah. Well, it's my favorite Grant Cardone quote is, you can't burn out because you're not a candle. So as long as you're doing what you love, you're not going to burn yourself out like 120%. So what are some of the top events that you've gone to find the next version of yourself? You mentioned Tony Robbins. Are there a couple others that you've been to?
I don't really go to a lot of events unless I'm speaking. So I mean, I try to learn at the event. So, I mean, I'm speaking at Dean Graziosi's event in Phoenix this
Nice.
Saturday. So it's me, Eric Thomas, Dean Graziosi, Brendan Burchard.
Sunday.
Eric
Well, it's this
Thomas, yeah,
weekend.
I love that guy.
Yeah, so, I mean, I've never seen Eric live. We've never done anything together live. So I'll probably learn from that. I've learned a bunch from YouTube events where, again, mostly I'm speaking, but then there's other speakers there who are contributing their knowledge, and I take something away. I think Tony's the only one that I've really been to that I had no role apart from just being a guest.
Yeah,
So taking it in.
I love it. I need to go one of his events. He seems like he's got a lot of energy, so I think I'd love it.
But I would do the Joe Dispenza one. You know, honestly, I probably should. You know, my neck is still hurting. You know, his whole process of healing. 6 days.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a mini version of it.
So this is what I'm doing myself. I'm not going to his actual event. I'm just going up to a cabin and diving very, very heavily into his next book, which I've done that for Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. That book is intense, and the meditation is an hour long. So very, very intense meditation. But I'm like, okay, I haven't studied his new book, Becoming Supernatural, and I'm just going to dive into that and all of the meditations that come along with it. So it'll be
Are you going to the cabin by yourself?
Yeah, my husband and I. Yeah.
You, your husband, and the book, and you're going to do it together.
Yep.
That's awesome.
It'll
Nina,
be fun.
what do you think about that?
About what?
You and me go to a cabin in the woods for 6 days to read a book and practice the exercises in the book.
I don't read.
I don't read.
There's Audible, you know.
You listen to it. We'll watch a video version.
But depends on the setup in the cabin.
Depends on the setup. What would you need in the cabin?
Bathrooms.
Bathrooms. Okay, fine. Are there bathrooms, Melissa?
Washrooms,
Yes.
like-
There's washrooms.
Okay.
It's not a tree.
But what do you do?
What do you eat? You eat food. I don't know. You know, she's not going to go hunt although she is wearing a hunting t-shirt or sweatshirt on. I don't think she's going to go hunt her own caribou and eat it for dinner. Like, there's food.
That would be the worst hunter in human history.
What else,
I'd be
Nina?
like,
What else do you need to know?
All day.
All day. Well, so break that down. What's the routine? It's not 18 hours a day reading the book
no.
and meditating. So what's
No.
the routine you guys are going to get into to go through the book?
So we're going to do it pretty passively. So we have 2 books that we're studying up there. One of them is based on relationships. We've been together for a decade. And then the other one's Joe Dispenza's book. And we're going to read it together and take our lessons and talk about it. You know, figure out and dive in deeper as to, okay, why do you think that way? What do you like about this? What do you like about that? And then dive into a further understanding. And then just hang out. It's not super like boot campy, like go do your and really, you know, stressful. It's supposed to be a recharging kind of gathering, kind of further understanding each other.
So how much? So Nina will like the second option. Nina, they're also doing a relationship book where they each read a chapter and then they talk about it. I think Nina will resonate with that a lot more than the other one. But Nina's always willing to try anything. Wim Hof, cold baths, and Sadhguru meditation and stuff. Okay, so you're going to sit down. So walk me through. So if this was Monday at your cabin, you know, it's 9:24 in the morning. Are you already up and you're already reading? What are you doing?
Yeah, I normally personally wake up and I do the miracle morning routine. So I wake up normally at 4 o'clock in the morning and I do my own separate routine. It's not a couple's routine. It's you do your own thing because you're your own person. So I wake up, I do my own journaling, my own reading, my own meditating, my own goal setting, all of that stuff. And then he does his own routine that pulls him. And then we read a book, maybe a chapter together and talk about it.
So what time are you going to start? Are you going to be disciplined to be like, hey, at 8 o'clock we start reading our book?
I don't think based on the relationship and different personalities, I'm very much like that, but understanding how he is, I don't think that would be a bonding experience. It'd be more of a you need to do it experience. So probably a little bit more casual to make sure both parties feel like they're not getting pushed into self-development. Both parties are more receptive to it.
Okay, so you're going to eat your breakfast and then sit down and start reading your book at some time before, noon.
Yeah.
You're each going to read it the same chapter at the same time. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to talk about it, what you learned, however long that conversation goes. Maybe it's a quick one, you move on to the next chapter, or maybe it goes until dinner time.
Yeah. And I like to like walk afterwards. So we're going to walk into town and talk more in depth about it so we understand each other more.
Okay.
And kind of go from there just to make it super casual. For me,
Got it.
I think that if you guys are watching this and you want to do this as a couple, you have to understand your spouse's personality. For me, I am very like, very oriented, very analytical, very like deadline oriented. But if your spouse is not, this isn't going to be a bonding experience. It's just going to be irritating. Like you're just going to be mad. So you have to understand with both parties, what works well for you, what works well for the other person. So for me, I get all of my stuff done first thing in the morning and understand he has his own creative process. He's a lot more creative than I am.
Yeah.
I'm very black or white. So understand what works best for both parties and go from there to bond together versus be like, we need to do that now. Because that would be very, very, very stressful.
Nina and I are both pretty schedule oriented. Okay, so
nice.
Nina, here's what happens. So you wake up. If you don't want to read, it'll be audio or let's say a video.
Okay.
You watch a video.
Okay.
That's about couples and relationships.
Okay.
It's part of a series. Say like it's a 10-part series. So you watch part 1,
Yeah.
and then you go for a walk,
Okay.
and you talk about. So you just eat breakfast,
Yeah.
nice breakfast together that I made.
You made?
Wow. Peanut butter and jam sandwiches and yummy.
Oh, I hate peanut butter.
Okay, breakfast that I made. We watch part 1 out of 10 of a relationship video, and then go for a walk with the dogs and talk about what we learned and what we want to do about it, and then maybe that conversation goes all the way to dinner, or maybe that conversation ends quickly, and then we move on to the next topic. What do you think?
Yeah.
How many days would you want to go away for to do that? They're going for 6.
6 days?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I could go 6 days.
You can go 6 days?
Yeah.
Are you doing internet and are you like totally you're unplugging from everything? No
Yeah,
social media?
Yeah, we have to walk into town for cell phone reception. So I'm going to do that every day. I'm going to walk into town.
They have to walk into town to get on the internet.
Oh.
So in the cabin there's no internet.
Oh.
Would you do it?
Well, if my family are okay.
If your family is okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because my dad, he's sick.
Yeah, but you can check in every day on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do it.
You would do it?
Yeah.
All right.
There
Well,
you go.
maybe.
Will you do it?
Would I do it?
Yeah.
If you wanted to do it.
I won't want to do it. If you want to do it,
Oh, I have to want to do it? All right.
I'll only do it for you.
You would do it for me, and I would do it for you. Oh, I see. We already have a relationship.
There you go.
All right, relationship goals. Anyway, I would. I like it. I think intentional time matters, right? And so,
Yeah.
how often do you do this?
This will be our first official trip together where we do this particular, but we've read lots of books together. Like he's read the 10X Rule with me. We've read Be Obsessed or Be Average. He loves Jordan Peterson. So we when we drive out of town, we're listening to a book that one of us really, really likes. He loves Jordan Peterson. So we're just about to finish that book. So we try to consciously do it together on a regular basis. But this is the first full out trip where we're doing this really in depth.
6 days. All right. Well, I'm cheering for you. Looking forward to the update. See how it works out.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Have a good day. Go out there and kill it.
Thanks, Melissa. Take care.
Peace out, everyone. Bye.
If you have a podcast or interview show and want me to be a guest on it, I have 2 options for you. There's a link right there next to me. Go click it, and I look forward to being a guest on your show.